What follows is an example of how to use an expert software system to facilitate and control the task of completing a Department of Commerce Form 1. A Form 1 is a form used in the state of Western Australia to register business names. A Form 1 is a business name application. It is a simple form but a troublesome document if it is mismanaged. In a public practice you can use ETM to set up exactly how the form is to be completed and processed. ETM lets you delegate tasks like a Form 1 to junior staff. This is one of the main goals of ETM. A lot of employees are quite capable, they just lack knowledge and as a result have to keep on referring to and using up senior staff time and resources. Give staff the references and guides they need to understand what they are doing, why they are doing it and how your practice wants it to be done. If you are an accounting practice, how do you handle the processing of these forms? Who does them and what procedures are followed? Any accountant in practice knows that if you make an error on a business name application you can create a lot of admin headaches for both the client and your firm. Here is an example of how to use an application like ETM to process such an application. The ETM system is about creating jobs for employees that have a series of electronic checklists and references that guide them on what to do and why they are doing it. Here you choose your template, select the client, allocate the job to an employee and specify the completion date. This is where jobs are managed, created and made available over the practices network. ETM tracks all allocated jobs. Employees enter the job completion area to see what jobs have been allocated to them. ETM has various filters that allow employees to screen the various jobs in the system. They can search jobs by individual clients or by client groups. They can also filter jobs by what status they are currently set at. What we are looking at here is a step where a partner or senior in a public practice firm has just received a phone call from a client. The client has requested the accountant register a new business name. The average networked computer system in even the smallest practice is now nearly always capable of being used as a fully fledged MP3, MP4, audio and video system. Computers have inbuilt speakers and microphones, why not use them? Note how ETM works. The template selected is register a business name. This template has been designed by the accountant to list all the steps and processes needed to register a business name. The template is split into two levels. Level 1 and Level 2. The steps in Level 1 have sub-steps in Level 2. In this case step Level 1, step number 5 has the description record and link instructions. Level 2 then has two sub-steps that give the person setting the job the option of creating the instruction by audio or in writing. Here the audio option is chosen. Note there is a link to the desktop audio application. You double-click and are immediately ready to create an audio instruction for your staff. This is where ETM is trying to help you access the tools you need to create a precise job instruction. Your audio application opens. You then record your instructions. Save the MP3 you have just created. You then use ETM to attach the MP3 to the step so the employee, when he or she opens the job, can open it and listen to your instructions. When the employee opens the link they can see and open the audio file. Note, ETM lets you attach multiple links and as a result you can add additional instructions later. The employee opens the link and the audio runs. Once the employee has listened to what is required they check off the step and it disappears from view. The agenda here is creating a system where a busy partner can get a phone call, open up a template, create an audio note and link it to a job allocated to an employee. It is about saving time and doing things when they are fresh in your mind, in this case, after the phone call from the client. There is a lot more to ETM however than just an instruction. The employee now knows what is required but they still have to be guided on how to go about completing the task. The employee moves on to the next step, which is step level 1, step 10. This step lists the forms used in Western Australia. Since a new business name is being applied for step 5, form 1 is required. Note the template has pre-linked the form required. Double-click the link and the PDF form 1 opens. This is where an application like ETM can go a long way to helping your staff get things right. learn on the job and be given the tools to be efficient about it all at the same time. Accountants can now access really powerful and inexpensive software to help them convey and guide less experienced staff through the process of filling in sensitive forms. The form one you are looking at here is a standard form downloaded from the West Australian Department of Commerce website. Using Adobe Acrobat, it is easy to provide your employee with some useful links. Next to business name, for example, is a hyperlink to the West Australian Business Names Act. Click and your employee has instant access to the Act. It is a tool for a practice that wants to give its staff the ability to think about what is going on and learn about what they are doing and why. Here is another example of using the same technique. The employee has to enter the business name at item 1 on the form. When they select, they are warned, "Have you checked the name is available?" They then click a link and the ASIC business name search engine opens. They are ready to check. What you are doing here is reducing the risk of a defective application. The link takes the employee straight to the ASIC website for business name searches. This is not complex functionality. The same system is used to force the employee to think about alternative business names. Again, what you are doing is creating a process where accuracy and good administration should prevail. Like all forms, there is more to applying for a business name than meets the eye. How does your practice pass on the knowledge about what to do when the business name being applied for is the same as a proprietary limited company name? ETM lets you set up both what to do and how to do it. The document to handle this issue has been made available by the Department of Commerce. Link it in your PDF. It will be there for your employee. So long as they are a thinker and following the steps, they will get it right. Use Adobe Acrobat to make the deed of agreement an interactive form. Not only have you set up a system to ensure your staff can get this issue right, you have given them the deed of agreement and the tools to complete it. Your receptionist could be taking this on. ETM is about getting value out of your staff. Remember, ETM is also a checklist system. As employees work through the steps, they look at what is required to be done, think about it, act, and then check the step off before moving on to the next step. Here, for example, you are giving the employee pointers on what to do if the business owner is a trustee. How does your practice manage all the queries and responses that come about within your office as you work on and complete client assignments? Do staff send emails, knock on doors, use post-it notes, or just wait until a partner or senior is free? ETM utilizes a query and response system based on the principle that senior staff are often with clients and that the best way to ask a query is through the job itself. Now here is an example of where something has not gone right. The employee, in checking off the steps, finds that the business name applied for is already taken. ETM allows the employee to raise a query. Double-click on Query. Note: the way ETM works is that the query is created at the step dealing with the issue the query is about. Once you are in the query screen, the employee enters what it is they need advice on. Note: you can create a link to any query. Here the employee has hyperlinked the URL to the ASIC website of business names. When the partner or senior accountant reviews the query, they can click and efficiently see for themselves what the problem is. Note that a yes appears in the query link at the relevant step. ETM manages queries by allowing partners and senior staff to look at jobs in query mode. Remember, partners and seniors are busy, so they need a system when they can look at queries at chosen times of the day. When using ETM in query mode, you only see jobs with queries. Jobs without queries do not display. Moreover, if there are a lot of jobs with queries, you can filter jobs by employee, client, client group, or status. In addition to only seeing jobs with queries in query mode, when you enter the job you will only see steps with queries attached. In the example here, step level 1, step 15, has a query at level 2 at step number 5. As a result, the partner, senior will only see these steps. They do not need to see the other steps, they are just looking at and responding to queries. The partner of senior then clicks on the query, notes the text and, in this case, opens the link. The link opens the site, giving the partner or senior a quick snapshot of the issue. It is precise and time-saving for them to see matters in this way. The partner or senior can now go to the response area and give their advice. They respond by advising a different name be registered. Note: The idea behind all this is that the partner or senior is always been asked a lot of questions by more junior staff. The query system lets them deal with matters when time is available. The response system allows them to give recorded advice and know the employee will get it. Remember, the partner could have linked an audio here. Finally, partners get lots of emails. ETM lets the employee query the partner through the job itself. Once the partner or senior has made a response, the job no longer shows in the query area. ETM is designed to facilitate the query-response interaction by only displaying the relevant jobs and steps. In this case, the query now has a response, so the job will only show in the Jobs with Outstanding Responses area. The employee accesses the Jobs with Outstanding Responses area. Here he or she will only see jobs with outstanding responses. When the employee clicks on and enters the job, they only see the steps containing responses. Double-click on the response and it opens. The employee then reads and acknowledges the response. Note: responses can have attachments. The partner or senior could choose to link an MP3, a Word document, a hyperlink to a website, a PDF, an Excel spreadsheet, and so on. Once all responses in a job are acknowledged, the job no longer displays in the outstanding response viewing mode. The employee continues to work on the job and follow its steps in the Complete Jobs area. As part of applying for a business name, there is still more to do. The Form 1 and a letter needs to be sent to the client. A bill may need to be raised and a system put in place to ensure the form is sent to the Department of Commerce. ETM lets you link the standard client letter template. The step is telling the employee a letter needs to be done and at the same time linking the template for that letter for immediate use and completion. Click on the link and the letter is ready for pre-filling. In this step, ETM is being used to outline the practices protocol on how the letter and Form 1 are to be managed and what instructions should be given to the client to effect its lodgement. When the job is completed, the employee sets it to finished. Partners and seniors can monitor the status of jobs. ETM reporting functions allow all jobs to be filtered and reviewed. This presentation was aimed at demonstrating how an application like ETM can be used in an accounting practice to create protocols and processes to help a busy firm with competent but new or inexperienced staff get things done. The issues are as follows. Design electronic checklists for certain types of standard jobs that your office deals with. It could be a Form 1 business name application, how to do an FBT return, how to set up an SMSF pension, how to do a bank reconciliation in MYOB, how to prepare ERN trust minutes, how to lodge a form with ASIC, and so on. Templates are e-learning platforms. It is not just about getting things right, it is about having staff e-learn because senior staff are often unavailable. E-supervision is about using an application like ETM to give staff the steps, checklists, and tools they need so that when they work on client assignments they can take the job to a higher level before needing to ask a senior for advice. Younger employees, Gen Y and the like, are very computer literate. Using electronic templates, interactive forms, audios, Excel, Adobe Acrobat and Word is not a big step for a small suburban practice to take. ETM helps change the IT culture of your firm and can put you ahead of so-called larger firms who often think it is only they that can deliver higher-end tax work and solutions. Chances are your staff, when chatting with their friends who work in larger firms, will realize that on the contrary it is your practice that is advanced and on the front foot and not the one their friends are stuck with. This presentation was prepared by Robert Lopez, CPA. Robert Lopez is a tax accountant living and working in Perth, Western Australia. He has a Bachelor of Business degree, a postgraduate diploma in accounting, a master's degree in accounting, a diploma in financial planning, and is a registered tax agent. Robert also has over 25 years' experience in public practice. Please refer to the Expert Software Systems website if you wish to contact the author.